As you can see, we are enjoying some beautiful spring weather here in New York today. So I've been driving for about 6.5 hours. Rolling up here to New York to hunt with old Rob. Rob came down to West Virginia. He got his 2 birds in West Virginia. So I'm coming up to New York to where he hunts, and we're gonna get after it this week. So super excited. Never hunted New York ever. So Rob just casually stuck on the side of the driveway here.
It's a little soft, huh?
Just sliding all over the place. Sorry, Mike.
Just ruined your driveway.
We just got all this done the other day.
You rolling. Opening morning in New York. It's a little wet. So we didn't get out right at daylight. We were kind of letting this rain blow through. We're hunting right out the back door where we're staying, so we didn't feel like we really needed to get out super early. We'll let this rain pass through. And now we're gonna start working our way back here and see if we can't find a gobbler. Alright, well, wrapping up this morning. Got about 10 minutes left. We haven't heard a daggone thing. So we gotta quit at noon, so I'm just gonna go ahead and unload the gun now. And we'll get ready to walk out of here, but there's definitely some sign in here. They're in here. We did run into 2 other guys that were coming up into the same spot. We kind of waved them off, but no go on the first day. Of course, it's pretty now that it's quitting time. Probably gonna get out this afternoon and try to scout a little bit. Look at a couple areas we got pinned on Onyx. That's about it for day 1 on the hunting side, so now we just need to get to scouting and put a plan together for tomorrow. With the morning of day 1 wrapped up, we drove around checking some fields and found no shortage of birds in the area. So which side is public?
There's public back there.
Right there? All right, let's mark this so we know. You get that one on camera?
B-roll.
What is the deal today? That's the second tree that's almost killed us, and that's no lie.
Hey. Not a bad little scout.
We saw a turkey. It's not a gobbler, but it's a turkey. So we're running up the road. Just a little turkey feather right by the gate. Well, we found 2 piles of poop and a feather. That bird's as good as dead. We continued scouting through the afternoon, checking new spots and looking for sign that we could hopefully bank on later in the week. All right, well, me and Rob started headed out to this spot. And it's about a half-hour drive. We got about 20 minutes into that drive. Realized we didn't have the SD card for the camera. So Rob dropped me off. He's headed back to get the card. So I'm slipping up in here where all this sign is at. We were in here yesterday mid-morning. Didn't hear anything, but there was a lot of sign in here. So coming back, it's about probably a little over a 3/4 mile walk. I got a little ways to go yet. But just now cracking daylight. They should be gobbling if they're gonna gobble.
While I was out listening for gobbles on public, Rob was out checking private fields for birds. Our strategy was pretty simple. Find birds on private, adjacent to public, and try to get in position as close as we could to them. It was getting later in the morning and the distant gobbles were starting to get a little bit closer, so I hit him with some loud calling to hopefully convince him to come our way.
He was gobbling, you hear it? Was he? Yeah. I couldn't hear it. He responded to me though? Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything else then. And he's gobbling pretty freaking good. That's like 4 times in the past minute. One over here, dude. Oh yeah, the one that I heard was more this way. Gotta get him with a shot gobble with that one if he did. And how many times do you call from a spot and then an hour later they just show up?
We sat in this spot for a couple hours, and like a couple of rookies, we decided to move from our original calling location, which turns out to be a big mistake.
There he is. Alright. Right in front of your camera. Over on that hillside. Straight up there. He's going to the right. You're gonna see him pop out right over here. See him walking up through there. Yeah. Just let him, we might have to let him work off. He's up on top of that hill right there. He's strutting. He might come down.
Shortly after this bird worked off without giving us a shot, another big longbeard come up the same exact ridge where we had just been sitting, and with only a few minutes left till the noon cutoff, all we could do was watch him walk away.
Alright, so we're basically scoping out these roads that are adjacent to public. That's what Rob did yesterday morning and spotted those groups of birds kind of working their way back toward the public. So we figured this morning, instead of just running up in there right off the bat, we're going to try to figure out where they're at. Our boy is still out here in this spot. Got another one adjacent to the lot, or field. So these birds are all, this one's about 0.7 miles from the public. The other one is a lot closer. The other one's about 600 yards. What we doing, Rob?
Well, like any good hunter would on a morning like this, we're gonna go hit up Mickey D's, get some breakfast sandwiches, put a game plan together for these birds, eat those sandwiches, and then go kill those birds.
Simple as that.
Yeah, get back over there. We'll see you tomorrow.
Over the next 2 days, the hunting was tough. We just couldn't seem to get any gobblers that wanted to play the game, and while this Jake at 20 yards sure was tempting, he just wasn't what I come to New York for. So we kept at it in hopes our luck would finally turn around. On the last morning, with an hour to go, we finally had a group of longbeards headed our way off of a private field, but the clock was ticking.
Nothing like having them come into range right at quitting time. Well, they weren't in range, but they were close. There was a guy across the field calling at him, and I must have out-called him because they come over here on my side, on our side. That is super frustrating. We've been on watching those birds for the last 2.5 hours. I called the hen over. She came to our side. They came to our side, and they came up this next little ridge right beside us. And they were, 70 yards away. That's really frustrating. We gave her a heck of a run anyway.
With my time in New York over and an unfilled tag in my pocket, it was Rob's turn to continue the chase and hopefully settle the score on these tricky public land gobblers.
Came into this saddle where these birds came into me and Jared after shooting time was over. I ended up setting up right underneath them. They took off. I'm gonna still hunt my way in the direction that they pitched down in. These birds, man, this is frustrating.
This bird was just slightly out of range for Rob's 20 gauge, so he opted to pass and wait for a better opportunity, which turns out was the right call to make.
Well, that was exciting. I was feeling pretty dejected, as most turkey hunters will understand. Just sucks to be outsmarted. It's a fun game to win. It's a crappy game to lose, but feels good, especially after the week that Jared and I had. But push through it, and sometimes it works out. Pretty pumped right now.